So recently we had a client ask us a very interesting question, and that is whether they should look at Pinery Residences or Rivelle EC. So seeing that the locations are so close to one another, we thought it would be apt to compare these two projects in one video.
So however, they're also fundamentally very different products. One is a private condo while the other one is an EC. So a buyer with the same income may not necessarily be able to afford both. So if you're curious, do stay till the end of our video.
Yeah, I think so. In general, Tampines doesn't have launches very often. I think the last one was actually Treasure at Tampines, and that was about 7 years ago or so. Lately, we had also Parktown Residence and Orwell launch last year, but that is in Tampines North. But now we are actually treated with two launches here, and they are located very near Tampines West MRT, and they will both be launching likely in March.
So today we'll touch on the location and also the project facts of the two different developments and also the potential pricing. 3 reasons why you should choose Pinery over Rivelle EC and 3 reasons to choose Rivelle over Pinery, and also some final thoughts.
So of course, as you can see, Pinery Residence is located right next to Tampines West MRT, and if you take a look at where Rivelle is, it's on the opposite street along Street 95. I think largely Tampines West, or rather this part of Tampines, is largely a HDB residential area. There are some existing older HDBs, but actually in the immediate vicinity there are some under construction new BTOs as well. Now Pinery Residence is not just a residential project, there will actually be a Pinery Mall within the development itself. In the other immediate parts of Tampines, we also have, as mentioned, Safra Tampines. Go down the stretch, there's of course Bedok Reservoir as well.
In terms of schools, we have St. Hilda's Primary as well as Junyuan Primary within the 1 km vicinity. We also have United World College and also Middleton International.
Tampines is one of the major mature HDB towns in Singapore. So of course that's where all the mega malls are, like Century Square,
Tampines Mall,
our Tampines Mall and our Tampines Hub as well. There are also favourites like IKEA and the Tampines Round Market. In terms of the east side transformation, the government has been putting quite a lot of focus in the east. So in the Tampines region specifically, right, we can see URA has been earmarking Tampines North as a major part to develop in the last few years.
A lot of BTO clusters there, and also building many parks to make it a very cozy kind of
residential area.
Yeah. So in Tampines West, the government has also made a smart decision to eventually release the plot where Pinery sits on.
Among all the transformation in the east region, I'll say that the most important one will actually be the Changi Airport transformation, where Terminal 5 is going to expand. And we can see how big this is going to be, with Terminal 5 having plans for Singapore's 2 newest MRT lines, which is the Cross Island line and also the Thomson East Coast line, eventually going to serve it.
So now let's do a quick fire through in terms of the project facts of the both developments. First, we have Pinery, which will be developed by Hoi Hub and Sunway. So it will be a mixed development as mentioned. We'll have the supermarket, food court and even an early childhood development center. So it will comprise of 6 blocks across 14 stories. I have 588 units in total, and then the car park ratio will be 80%.
For Rivelle EC, we have not much info yet because they've not gotten the marketing approval. But of course, we have Simlian. Estimated there's going to be 572 units. It's going to be typical 3 to 5 bidder types. Now we'll touch a bit on the unit mix. So for Pinery Residence, we can see that they don't have 1 bidders here, which I think is a very big plus point. We are quite family sized units here, so it ranges from 2 to 5 bedrooms.
On the other hand, for Rivelle, we don't have much info yet. Likely we'll have the 3 to 5 bedroom unit types as we have seen in the recent ECs as well. Some of our clients have been asking whether Pinery Mall, is it going to be one of those small mixed developments with very poor mix of shops? Just to give a little bit more detail, so the total space of commercials is actually very huge, at 11,000 over square meters, which is very big. You can accommodate up to 60 shops in total. So there's also going to be a supermarket confirmed in the mall, and we'll have a kopitiam and also Mulberry Learning, as well as 1,300 square meter of communities plaza space. So now we talk a little bit about the potential pricing. For Pinery, you can see that the land cost is about 1,004 PSF per plot ratio. So estimated launch price, we are expecting around 24 to 25, because it's also a mixed development, so we have to account for some of the costs for the commercial side.
And then for Rivelle EC, the land cost at 768 PSF PPR. Probably the estimated price is going to start from around 1,008. And I think this is where we will see ECs crossing 2,000 per square foot. I'm quite sure of it because Orwell has already hit over 1,009. This is the same developer and they are not going to price the same as Orwell. And even so, the land price is already higher. So we actually have a price matrix done up for Pinery Residence. Not yet for Rivelle, but for Pinery Residence, this is a price matrix that we come up with to also show you what is the range of quantums that you can expect. So for the 2 bidders, right, let's say we talk about the 624 square feet to 700 square feet units, and we assume 2,600 PSF. We're going to see the range probably starting from 1.6 million for 2 bidder, and it will probably go up to 1.8 for the 2+ study. And then for the 3 bidders, starting from 807 square feet, we are probably going to see the condoms around 2 mil thereabouts, and then for the bigger 3 bidders, it will go up to 2.7 million. 4 bidders, we're looking at around 2.9 mil plus plus. For the 5 bidder, it's going to be over 3.5 mil lah. Yeah, that will be likely the range.
In terms of comparing the price points, whether 2526 PSF is expensive may sound crazy to some people, but if we recap back to last year, the integrated project that we have at Tampines North, which is Parktown Residence, already saw transactions going as high as 2006 PSF. Both Parktown and this upcoming Pinery are both harmonized, so I think it's a fair comparison to make.
And also what we can expect upcoming, some of you might have heard of this new project that will come up at Bedok Rise, which is next to Tanah Merah MRT. So All Green actually won this plot at 1330 per square foot per plot ratio lah. So you can see it's already $300 higher land cost than Pinery. Yeah, so at this price, we're likely to see this project average 2,007 to maybe 2,900 per square foot. So this is going to set the benchmark even higher.
In this slide, we have the price comparisons of the existing ECs and also upcoming ones, as well as the existing launches in Tampines and also the upcoming ones nearby, let's say the Bedok Rise one at Tanah Merah and also Vela Bay at Bayshore.
For like Rivelle EC, expansion we're going to range from around like 1,008 to 2,000 PSF, and actually for Rivelle EC, we already see the PSF transacted at 1,009. Okay, so now we'll talk about 3 reasons why you should consider Pinery Residence over Rivelle EC. I'll say the first thing is that Pinery Residence and Rivelle are fundamentally 2 different products. Firstly, Pinery being a private condo will follow the TDSR framework, whereas Rivelle will follow the mortgage servicing ratio or MSR framework. This will affect you in terms of the affordability. So let's just say we talk about maximum EC income, which is 16K. Let's just say you're a 35, 33-year-old couple. Maximum you can loan is at 1.8 million thereabouts. That will be 75% of the purchase price. If you convert it to 100%, your maximum purchase price will be at around 2.4 million. I think if you see for EC, right, so your maximum loan, right, because due to MSR, it's going to be around only 1 million. And that will make your affordability for 100% purchase price up to 1.3 million. And say we talk about Pinery being 2,500 PSF, right? Yeah, that will make a 3-bidder around 2.18 million. Which means that the loan is okay. You can take the full loan for a 3-bidder at Pinery. Whereas for Rivelle, we assume 1,900 PSF at 1.6 million, you actually have a loan shortfall of 300,000. Next, I think one reason to really pick Pinery over Rivelle is that, of course, if you're in Pinery Residence itself, you take the lift, go downstairs, everything is downstairs for you. It's ultimate convenience, basically.
So we have seen like developments such as like Watertown at Punggol, Sengkang Grand and North Park Residences at Yishun. These are always top choices for people, even for own stayers or even for rental, because all these are integrated. In Singapore, they really value the convenience and they don't mind paying slightly more for that convenience. So if we compare, say, Pasir Ris 8, which is the integrated project at Pasir Ris MRT versus Coco Palms, which is very close but still need to walk. You can see that average tenants are willing to pay slightly more. Integrated development at Pasir Ris 8. So you can see that the highest rental there transacted for a 3-bedroom is also at 7,001. Averagely is around 6,005 plus minus. Whereas for Coco Palms, you are getting about 5,000 plus minus.
A third reason to pick Pinery over Rivelle would just be the ease in terms of knowing when you can sell or in terms of your exit strategy. So of course, when you buy Pinery being a private condo, there's only a 4-year SSD period. Yeah, so that would mean that if you buy it in March or April this year, 4 years later will be March to April 2030. That's the earliest you can sell. Whereas for Rivelle, you have to wait about 3 to 4 years to construct plus your 5-year MOP. Which means that you could possibly be only selling Rivelle in 2034 or 2035.
Okay, so now we look at the 3 reasons to consider Rivelle EC over Pinery. Firstly, Rivelle being an EC is a deferred payment scheme option, whereby those buyers that are eligible, you can actually just pay the 20% down payment upfront plus your stamp duty, and then you don't have to pay anything else until it TOPs. And for new ECs, let's say you're an existing HDB owner, you can also potentially buy the EC first and then you can sell HDB later, so when you collect your keys to the EC, so that you don't have to move twice. Whereas if it's like a brand new launch,
you're going to have to sell your house first. You have to unlock the funds from your HDB in order to buy the new launch condo, and probably you also have to rent for 3 years.
You still have to pay the progressive payment for the construction of the Pinery.
So those are 2 very fundamental differences. So of course, if you can buy Rivelle, it's good, but of course it's not so straightforward as mentioned earlier, because you have to pay 20% 20% and the buyer's stamp duty upfront in order to book the unit lah. And that could amount to be around 350 to 400k plus on hand that you need today. I'll say a second reason to consider Rivelle over Pinery is that, of course, the massive price gap. I think that's the one that we mentioned earlier. Of course, if Rivelle does range from 1,008 to 2,000 PSF, and we see Pinery hitting 24 to 27, we see the Bedok GOS going up to 28, 29. I think what we can see is one of the biggest price gaps we've seen in terms of comparing the EC and new launch. That could translate to around 800 to 900 PSF. Imagine next time if I buy Rivelle EC at 2,000 PSF even, can I just sell at 2,005?
Yeah.
It's something that you can project quite easily.
Because Pinery already entering at 2,425 PSF, that is like the potential price that you can exit from Rivelle. But in the future, if they both hit the market, resale market, then you have to be able to price it higher in order to make the same profits basically.
I think our third reason for why you should pick Rivelle over Pinery, I think it's just more to do with the specific land plot itself, location-wise. Of course, in terms of location, Pinery is more convenient because it's closer to the MRT and of course the mall itself. But of course, if you take a look at the map, right, overall it is situated along a road intersection along two main roads. So there's definitely going to be more road noise. So if you're someone who's very particular about road noise and the facing, right, then this is something that you have to consider. So for Rivelle EC, it's located along the intersection of Tampines Street 95 and 94, which is more of a minor road. So we cannot say there's no road noise also, but it's definitely going to be less noisy because it's more of a minor road.
So I think at the end of the day, it comes down to personal preference.
So yeah, we've come to the end of this quick review to compare both Pinery Residences and Rivelle EC. If you need some calculation, or even assessing your current situation to see whether which project was more suitable for you, just feel free to contact us.
Yep, and if you'd like more info on the upcoming previews, do feel free to reach out to us as well.
Okay, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.